Can everybody hear me here?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of our makeshift podcast. My name is Kuzey. I'm gonna be one of the hosts, but actually, host is a very fancy word for this podcast. So we're just gonna be three people speaking to you. So let's get to know you, the person next to me, right here. You don't know.
Okay,
You don't know who's
can't
next to me.
see.
That's right.
Rohani, I'm an IB3G and I'm just a regular, unemployed, non-IB student.
Sounds good.
I'm Jacob Tengström. You can't say that really in a good English way now, and I'm graduating in a few weeks. It's kind of crazy in this time, but we're surviving, we're fighting, we're strong. Haha.
So speaking of graduation, actually the first topic of our podcast is going to be graduation. We have an amazing guest. But first, I just want to talk about like why we're having this, like making this podcast. Basically, we had so much free time and we wanted to do something productive.
Haha.
Don't know what's going to happen. We're going to learn by doing the first episode. And also you can always leave a comment down below, make fun of us. Doesn't really matter. So
Constructive criticism is great.
actually we prefer destructive more than the constructive criticism. Or I don't know, as long as it's funny, we appreciate that. So our first guest is gonna be Lilian Tüsüz. She's the student union leader, but also she is one of the captains in Paulo House, if I'm right. Yeah, Paulo. So that's actually pretty special. I think he's the first ever like student union leader slash like captain of a house. So she's a big deal basically. And she had a meeting with the principal recently about the graduation. So she's the person to talk to if you're wondering anything about graduation. Before she's ready, I just want to ask my co-hosts how their quarantine has been, if they have any like recommendations, any TV shows, books, anything like that.
Good. Quarantine's great. Been reading some books. I actually have a book recommendation. Joe Sacco's Palestine. It's a very good graphic novel, which most IB students would be familiar with since we've been studying Persepolis, but it's very nice. It's also very political and it's interesting if you want to get to know more about the situation of Israel and Palestine from an insider's perspective, with a lot of humor, because it's comic. That's it.
Sounds great. Probably write that in the description if you want to check it out. I'll write the book and also the author and everything. So Jakob.
Yeah. What I have done, like mostly surviving, because dying is
It's not an option.
Never
No.
know. Yeah.
And I also like binge watch How I Met Your Mother for like. Let's not talk about how many times I've watched it, but I've finished the series and it's pretty great. It's legend. Wait for it. There you go.
It was lit.
Yeah, I have been watching some new shows as well. Tiger King, one of the greats. I think so many people have seen it already. But I've been rewatching Rick and Morty, as you can see my t-shirt. It's just like I have watched it, I don't know, like 5 times. From the start till the end, it's just so great. And I think there's an episode about like a virus, like a global pandemic. So it's kind of like relevant to what's happening in the world right now.
Really
as well. So our guest is ready. So let's cut it here and then we'll be back. I shouldn't have done this. What is it? And we're back. Our guest is right here. She's ready. The first ever captain slash student union leader. She's right here. Turn on your camera, Lilian, and join us. All right.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming on the show. Yeah, before we address the big elephant in the room, which is graduation, and talk about that, I just want to be, polite and ask you, how is your life? How is quarantine going? If you're doing quarantine or anything like that.
I'm finding ways to entertain myself and my family. I'm dancing all the time, like you did just now. Cooking food, baking, going for walks. How are you guys?
Good, thank you. Also trying to stay
Good.
entertained.
Yes.
Entertained and alive.
Alive. We like that part.
Exactly. I know you guys are doing your like GYRs. I think right now this is like the final week.
We have the presentations on Friday.
So yeah, good luck to everybody who's
luck.
doing their
Thank
GYRs.
you.
I just wanna talk about this graduation thing. So I had a meeting with the principal recently, and you guys talked about like graduation and what's gonna happen. We all know that like it's canceled because the government said that like it should be canceled. Is it gonna be postponed? Are we gonna have like a physical graduation, or is it gonna be digital?
Okay, so the plan for now is that we don't want to cancel the June 2nd graduation. We still want to do something and honor the students, our hard work. We want to have the ceremonial speech, give out the awards to the students that have been outstanding. So the plan now is that we're going to start off with having like a mentor time. So like a class bonding breakfast, like a last goodbye. And then we go to a live stream that's going to be shared with the whole school, where Dr. Heimer is going to hold a speech and give out awards and talk about the year. But then we can't unfortunately do the utspring part. So we're going to postpone it till August. So we're hoping for Corona to calm down until then. So yes. And I think that Mr. Teding also said in the meeting that usually they turn off our email accounts, the school emails, after summer or during summer break. So they're going to keep it open for the coming year. So we still can ask questions, we can still keep in contact if we have questions and so on, which I think is a really good compromise for both parts.
Yeah, I think so far it sounds like a great plan.
I think it's very diligent on the school's part, because in reality they don't have to do anything, but the fact that they're putting in so much effort, even as we saw with the Muspeltagning, they had a whole video prepared and students got involved. I think that's really nice, especially with the email part, because not only will we probably have questions if we're going to be meeting again in August, but also because I know a lot of students, obviously with university, we don't know what's happening, we don't know if universities even abroad will be accepting students, so people would probably need to reach their like academic files and stuff, and that's usually on the school email.
Exactly.
So I think that's great.
I think this kind of compromise has everyone in mind. The teachers kind of, because it's a fun part for them as well. They've been teaching us for 3 years now. They want to say goodbye. We want to say goodbye and get our final, closure.
I think with the Muspeltagning, am I pronouncing it correctly? Yeah, I think most of us thought that it was going to be like a live show, and then it ended up being a video.
Yeah.
I think it was a good video. Some parts were entertaining. I especially enjoyed the part where Mr. Teeling talks about like the history of hats.
Yeah.
I think it was fine. Anyways, but this time the graduation is going to be like live for sure. Probably.
Yes. So we wanted to initially during the meeting, we talked about wanting to do like a joint kind of assembly through, so that it was going to be live, the Muspeltagning. So it's more like a trial for the actual graduation June the 2nd. But I think it was kind of a disappointment for all of us, because I was expecting a live video as well for Muspeltagning. But I guess the technology didn't work out, so this is what they could do. As of now, if they make it work with the live stream and everything, it's going to be live.
Let's cross our fingers.
Exactly.
Yes.
But I really appreciate the effort by the student union and also the school, because like these are tough times, and not everything is going to be ideal, but the fact that they're trying, I think it means a lot, at least to me. First of all, I just want to have a look at this picture. So this is the student union.
Very
with
stylish.
the whole crew right here. Yeah. Is there a new crew? Like, is there a new student union group, or are you guys still the student union?
We have sent out the request for new applicants. Obviously, we want to do it in real life where people can vote and stuff like that, and we can hear the speeches in real life. But now we're working on alternate solutions where it can be online. So we're still waiting, but we do have some people that is a potential new crew. So we're very excited for that.
Right now, I just want to talk about something a little bit controversial, maybe, because recently there was an Instagram page. I think it's called Studenten 2020, right? And they shared a post trying to support, like trying to make this graduation happen on the original date. We can have a look at that real quick. So this is the page I was talking about, Studenten 2020 IEGS. I think they had some like good arguments. They said that like it's kind of a double standard, because like all the restaurants, like bars are open, and like 9th grade students are going to school, but then why they're canceling the graduation. I think they're like mostly influenced by this journalist's like article where she talks about that. Yeah, I just want to ask like all of you, what do you guys think about this? And also, do you think that it's going to work and actually like make this graduation happen on the original date?
It would be like great to have a graduation on our original date and just have it as normal, but we probably would need some sort of miracle of some kind to just make it happen, because everyone's been looking forward to like running out from school, hugging your friends and family, and to have that like 2 months later may not be the same thing, but we have to deal with the situation as it is.
I definitely agree with everything Jacob said. We shouldn't minimize the loss that students are feeling, because obviously they did work very hard to have an utbildning. It is a deep part of the culture of finishing high school here in Sweden. But at the same time, I think she definitely made arguments. I don't think they were that sound, because like one of the main opening things that she says, if you translate it to English, like I'm translating as best as I can, is that after 12 years of studying, what's been pushing students through this, their academic hardships, is that they have an utbildning. And I think realistically, if 12 years of studying, what you were thinking after every math test before having to get up early in the mornings is, utbildning, it just doesn't sound relatable. The woman who's writing it, she's not really a student herself right now, and I haven't really heard that sentiment from students I know. So I think she has a point. It is a loss, but like counteracting what other people are doing by not like having a full quarantine, by not staying at home completely, by having people run out, like saying it doesn't matter anyways because there are already people out, isn't proactive at all.
I think the article is more asking for like a better explanation from the government, whereas this like Student and Union 2020, Student and 2020, they just want to have the graduation on the actual date. And yeah, I don't think that's reasonable, because like considering the situation that we have right now, it's a global pandemic. So on the other hand, I don't think it was super necessary for like the former third years to come in and like leave their opinions and comment under this. Of course, everybody can say like speak their minds, but maybe this kind of like triggered them more and like prompt them to post more. So I don't really know, but I really like the post by the student union. I think it was really on
Thank you.
And
because I noticed that this, I think, was like the first post was after I made the class representatives of all third years go to their respective classes and talk about what we talked about the meeting before she sent out the email to clarify. So when this was published, the first post, I was a bit, but you already know what's going to happen. So why do you need to still make this whole thing? So I still understand their point, but I still think it's unfair, like you guys said, that it's putting too many people at risk. So when I saw that the former third years started making comments, and then our third years now are kind of countering back and they have rebuttals toward each other, I just felt like it was being kind of rude and unnecessary negativity, because we already live in such isolated bubbles right now. The last thing we need is even more negativity than we already have.
100%.
And with the stress that's going on with the IBs not having their exams, and us having our GYR deadline so soon and everything, with the grades coming to a close, I just wanted to make sure that everyone feels safe and not feel pressured to answer each other, because of course it wasn't really a nice tone that they kept in the comments. So I just wanted to clarify the situation and make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, but you're like in fact like one of the few people who actually talk to the principals. So do you think that this would be like enough to change their mind, or like do you think that this will have any influence on them? Yeah.
I don't think so. I think what would have an influence, because they're pretty set on not having it on June 2nd, because it's not only because if they could choose, they would have wanted it to be the original date, of course, but it's not entirely up to them, because they need to speak to people that are higher up than them, to people working in the Stockholm stad, to people that are in charge about like the commune itself. So they would want it to happen, but they couldn't due to restrictions. But with something like this, they would at least have heard the students' voice and understand that, okay, we can't just cancel it, let's postpone it, let's find an alternate solution, let's do it online, let's do it this. So I think if it wasn't for the meeting that I had together with Nicholas Lawrence in IB3B, I think he was in student council. So we had a meeting with him and Heimeyer and Teding. So I think if it wasn't for that meeting, and if it wasn't for this and all the individual emails that the teachers and principals got, maybe it would have been cancelled totally. Like, so we wouldn't have anything at all. Maybe, I don't know. But what I think the students really made it clear that we want it to happen, but we're willing to sacrifice a couple of months if that's fine with you, and they were okay with that. So I think it's good that we still make our voices heard, but I don't think it needs to be so
Hostile.
yeah, exactly.
Great contributions from everybody. So basically this was if you guys, if somebody doesn't know from the audience like what we're talking about, this is the article we're talking about. A journalist from like TV4, she posted something about the graduation, and basically asking for a better explanation, and I totally agree with like most of the things she's saying, and I appreciate her effort for asking for a better explanation. But I think right now, considering like everything, we like our school I think is like following the best possible plan for all the students and all the teachers. So thank you very much for coming on the show, Lilian. It's been great.
Thank you.
We hope that the next student union leader will be as good as you. And
Aw,
Yes,
thank you.
totally. If they can live up to your expectations, then everyone's going to be sound in 2021.
You're making me blush.
I think that this was definitely needed for the students in our school, because like I think they have so many question marks, but I think this conversation maybe answered like, even if answered like half of them, I think it was like helpful, productive.
It was something at least.
Well, thank you. I mean, you guys are doing a great job as captains as well, so I'm appreciative of that as well. So thank you guys.
All right.
Do I leave now? Or?
Yeah, you can leave now.
Okay.
All right, so we're back. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview / podcast / whatever that was.
Why wouldn't they? Look at how cute their hosts are.
Fact. Well, we're just gonna have to do this again because you said that.
Why?
Haha.
I hope you enjoyed what you saw. It was like a podcast / interview /
Kuzey, can you finish eating before you start talking?
Right.
Haha.
Anyways, thank you for tuning in. If you wanna, I think Nikki can do the shout outs. She's better at that. Yeah, not shout outs, but like if you wanna follow us, stuff like that. Say that.
So guys, if you want to follow us, any of us wonderful hosts, or Lilian, our special guest, we'll leave a link down below in the description. And please feel free to comment, debate, do your thing. Make our quarantine a little bit more enjoyable.
Thank you for listening today. And thank you, Lilian, for popping in with her words on this graduation topic. It's a very hot topic right now because, people are talking about not having graduation. It's kind of a rough time, but it was nice to hearing her words about it, and that you may be a bit more satisfied now than before watching this. Otherwise, just pop in some questions in the comment area, and do what you do best, because that's what you do best.
Next week, or I don't know when we're gonna have the next episode, but we have a new guest already. We're gonna talk about that's the reaction I'm looking for. So we're gonna talk about wrestling and MMA. I think it's a very interesting. Exactly, and this guy, he's a big deal. He represents Sweden like internationally in wrestling competitions and everything like that. So stay home, stay safe, and hope to see you next time. Peace
Out.
out.